Free as the wind, walking down the sidewalk of one of Tokyo's central districts. I simply wanted to have some rest. The whole day had already gone to pot. The other thing I achieved was finding out the note from yesterday hadn't been written by Catherine. The note. Unpleasant thoughts crept into my head. But if it hadn't been her, then whom? Was it a joke, a hoax? What if it wasn't? Just what's been going on with me for the past day and a half? More things happened in that span of time than during the whole past year and a half. It's like I was a main character in a novel. For the entire period, I had only been socializing with Heather. Well, Kyosuke as well, and sometimes Michael. And now we had Kagome, Ellie, and Catherine. What's next? Am I going to become a magical girl? Well, if you get the low-cut dress and some big boobs, I mean, it's not all bad. As if by chance I ended up near a familiar bar, if by chance. A couple of rounds of beer were an absolute must right now. I relaxed and cleared my head. What's the drinking age of Japan then? Is it actually 16? Oh. There wasn't many people inside, which made sense. Everyone should be either at work or at school at this time. Like in that joke about a hurricane and a 3-story building. Even though I was known here, I still had a fake passport. Oh, I see. Acquired a while ago. Okay, so yep, you're not allowed to drink, but you have a fake pass. Okay. My school uniform had passed into the adult's life like this one. Proving if it was real or not practically easy. And documents is still a document, especially when someone shoving it in your face. Yeah. So yes, you're allowed to underage drink. He would tell me stories of his past as a pirate and now his ship sank near Japanese shore. Or how. It was a lie, of course. He was mostly likely an immigrant, same as my parents. I sat down in the corner and ordered a mug of beer. Hi, other male character.
Oi! Oi! How you doing there, buddy?
How about I give you a southern accent now?
Oi! Good. How you doing there? You're early today.
Yeah, I just kind of ended up that way.
Well,
you'll find will you be fine at school? Fuck it. Will you be fine at school? You know that they're harsh about that here. I shrank away nervously. Oh, I see. None of my business now. I just serve you the beer and you do what you do now. You keep on keeping on. You hear? Bartending profession as well. The beer was poured in a half-liter mug here, which brought me an unspeakable joy, drowning small glasses in one gulp and then squealing from pleasure. Brr. No, it's more like, hold on, let me. There you go. I took a large draught. Catherine came back. The bartender raised his eyebrow and asked me with genuine surprise. And now, what are you going to do about that? Sometimes it seems to me that showing sympathy for his client was more than a professional habit to him. What can I do? She has no burning desire to talk, and neither do I. Well, at least I certainly have no intention of fawning over her. And now why is she back, do you feel? Because of her mother's work, I think. She wouldn't come back to be alone now, would she? Again, southern accent doesn't have that. Most likely not now, you hear? Well, now I have no more bullshit. Well, now I have some bullshit on my hands, you know. They say life is like a zebra. A black stripe, a white stripe, then a black one, then a white one again. You racist bastard. Yeah, and then comes the asshole. We both laughed. You know, Cola, cheer up. You hear me now? He said encouragingly. You still have your whole life ahead of you now, you hear? And you two, and the two of you, ahead of you, and the two of you will get together now 100 times over. And if not, you'll just be find yourself another girl now. How about that Heather girl? She looks cute now. Look, how many of them are there walking about? bartender spread his arms, and a few schoolgirls nestled at a table in the furthest corner of the room gave us a slightly frightened look.
Thanks for those comforting words. And besides, there's a lot of other things than that. Life is in full swing, my friend.
Oh, now let me tell you this, there, boy. All of it's in your head now, you hear? Yeah. The door fling open and a group of young people entered. I immediately recognized yesterday's delinquents among them, reflecting a bullied nose mug. Was I scared? It seemed like it. They sat down at a table and ordered the beer and cocktails for the girls. Again, that's not the southern accent, but that's my ha. Now you hear me, you know them. The bartender asked quietly, leaning in towards me.
I wouldn't say I know them, but we've met. Mainly my fist and his face.
I gave them a cautious, sidelong glance. Should I get up or leave? Would it seem cowardice?
Cowardice? To whom? They didn't even notice me.
The moment that thought crossed my mind, one of them guys got up and walked over to the corner.
Hey, I know you. If you say so,
I said calmly as possible without even sparing him a glance. It seems like you don't know who you're dealing with, Genji.
I'm not dealing with anyone, you idiot.
So it was you who pushed my friend's face in yesterday. Punched my face. Yeah, it should be, you're the guy that punched my friend's face in. You're the guy that punched face me, huh?
Maybe it was me, but he did deserve it.
Really? How about we go out and have a little talk? I look at the bartender, he only shrugged. Sympathy for your clients, damn it. Let's go then. What else could I do? Half a minute later, we were standing in the alley behind the bar. A couple of older guys joined the school kids. Where did he even come from? Wow, not so tough now, are we? What, that you're surrounded by your friend? He said the one I punched yesterday? That'll teach you to stand up for whores. I looked at the girl. Compared to her, Kagome was Mother Teresa.
So, what's next? You gotta give me a beating, 4 against 1.
I have to say, much respect.
What about the code of honor? The cozy have one.
Codes, I can't say it. I'm horribly drunk. I grin, and the largest guy among them.
You, for one,
have the mug of a complete bandit. The older thug clenched his teeth, their expression changing.
What'd you say, punk?
Let's go out. Let's get on with it already. A thought flashed my mind. Should I strike first? Doing that, at least, would leave me with a semi-dog of respect. But I had no time to make a decision. A strong blow to my back threw me to the ground. How cowardly. The blow hits hard, but they did not go on for long. I curled in a ball, covering my head with my arms. It hurt. Ellipses joined in the beating. Betrayer. When I came to, the bastards have already gone. I got up slowly and felt myself all over. It seemed nothing was broken. My face was mostly fine as well. If I didn't count the black eye. I returned to the bar, sat down in the same seat. No, I no longer felt like having a conversation with the bartender. Although, what could he have done? Stand at my side and fight? Call the police? Actually, he could have done that. Hey there, boy. He pointed off to the side with his eyes. I turned my head, and literally a couple meters away from me, there was Catherine.
Hi, I guess,
I said shortly after. Before that, I've been waiting for her to start talking first. Fat chance of that happening. Hi. She replied indifferently. I shifted across the seat and she ordered a cocktail for herself. What's with that face?
Nothing important. She didn't believe me. I fell down the stairs, full of fists, alright? Face first onto the concrete several times in a row. Yeah, I got lucky this time, but next time victory would be mine. Is that so? Catherine said without any interest in her voice. So, you're skipping school too? I had to start the conversation in the most natural way possible. 2. She gave me a sidelong look. Well, it's nothing new for me. I guess it isn't. I heard you went to the principal's office. Perhaps I did. What of it? The tone in her voice didn't change, but her eyes flashed. Katya, I don't want to start everything all over again. Then don't. I'm not. Or was I? Put yourself in my shoes. How would you react when you've been asking the same questions? Wouldn't you be asking the same question? What questions? Fine. I understand you're here because your mother's work, but the principals, but this particular school, why? Why? What, am I disturbing you? Catherine was sipping her cocktail with an expression of absolute indifference. No, of course not. But if you recall how we parted... It's all in the past. Are you really saying that I should have chosen a different school or changed my life in some other way just because of you? Simply to avoid running into you a few times. This isn't what I'm thinking. She actually is right. I had no retort. But she was right, only if she really didn't feel anything towards me right now. Everything pointed towards that being the case, but I simply couldn't. I didn't want to believe that she could be so cruel. Everything's alright then? Of course. Then we can remain friends. A barely noticeable grin appeared on Catherine's face. Do you want us to? Why not? The past is in the past. We have to move on and, keep living. You're talking like a man with PTSD. At this point, I would begin to get worked up. It's all in the past for me, alright? If that's what you mean. I'm not like I keep having the same dream over about your hair and cherry blossoms. Why'd you leave me? Is it good? Wonderful, you whore. Should I get up and leave? I would then have forgotten about her for certain. Damn it. Was I really still hoping for something? A little bit of action on the side? Catherine hurt me more and more every day, and I continued to slam against the glass like a brainless gnat, as if to try to prove something to someone. In the course of this year and a half, I've been so accustomed to living with the memories of her that now, when she was so close, I simply couldn't let them go. Those memories seemed like the only hope, the only thing holding me back from taking foolish, fatal actions. Was I thinking about anything in particular? Unlikely. But I was hoping, of course. And I see you're not wasting any time. Catherine gave me a surprised look. Nothing is worse than indifference, so I tried to get her angry at least. I snatched a cocktail from her hands and said sprightly, "A glass in the morning makes the whole day brighter, eh?" I raised a glass to my mouth, and Catherine's indifferent voice sounded somewhere in the background. "It's non-alcoholic, you idiot." It really was. Sumimasen. I set the glass back down on the corner. I see you're sticking to your old habits, you alcoholic. What do you mean? Her eyes pointed to the empty mug of beer that I tried to move as far away from me as possible. Oh, that bartender. I had a difficult day, if you haven't noticed. You did? Why? Are you actually interested, or just making conversation? Yeah. Or do you want to keep ignoring me? I sighed and answered.
I was called into the principal's office. It was the same old thing, truancies, you know. Then there was this interesting incident with a certain Oju-sama. Your new girlfriend? Are you mocking me? No, just keep the conversation to. I told you, if I'm disturbing you, I can leave. I don't have a girlfriend. Heather's right behind me crying. And I never did. I added it in a half whisper. I see. And how's Heather's doing? If you're so interested, you could visit her and ask. I do believe you had a falling out with her as well. Perhaps I will go see her. Catherine responded vaguely and glanced towards the entrance. Was she about to leave? Something stung me inside. I wanted her to stay. Even if she was going to keep mocking me. Heather's alright. I don't even know what else to say. She's the same as always, basically. Same as always, you say? She drawled? Does it surprise you that anyone at all can treat me humanely? No, of course not. I'm happy for Heather, and will definitely visit her if I get a chance. Now, I do need to go. She set the unfinished cocktail down on the corner and stood up. All right, I'll see you in school. Catherine gave me a nod and left the bar. Boy, damn, man, that's a tough break. Both the, now what you say, the black eye there you got, and the beating that guys gave you, and then the emotional beating that guy just gave you. It went to that horrible Scottish accent. Don't even start. How about a drink on the house now, boy? Did he want to make it up to me? No, thanks. I think I had enough for today. Even though a painkiller wouldn't be a bad thing considering your beating, I left the bar and stretched. As expected, the bruises hurt. Ellipses gave me some ointment. Hello? Oh, there we go. If the past couple of days of my life resembled some dumb manga from Kyosuke's collection, the meetings with Catherine were some kind of soap opera. A viscous, sticky, dark ambigulation with a beginning but no end. How long was this going to continue? After all, I would finish school in less than a year, and then what? Father's savings wouldn't last long. I would have to find work, though thoughts about higher education didn't even cross my mind. What should I do? Be like Japanese. That's a weird sentence. And toil day after day, head held low. Do you know there's even a special word in the Japanese language meaning death from overwork? Questions. Ellipses began to look up the meaning or the word that meant overwork by death. Or overwork by death. Death by overworking. It was getting late. I spent many hours simply wandering through the city, occasionally entering some shops or simply looking through the windows. Killing time and killing yet another day of my life. No train? Apparently that guy doesn't have to get there in the afternoon. It was completely dark by the time I arrived at my house. I thought I saw something move. The lights were on. I immediately remembered yesterday's notes and slightly a shiver ran through my body. No, all of this was stupid. So they came to murder me, and now we're sitting in my own house with the lights turned on, waiting for their victim. But while logic was all well and good, there was certainly someone inside my house. I opened the door carefully and saw a woman's shoes in the hallway. Heather's. I should have guessed right away. I could have simply assumed that no one but her needs me in the first place. Needs? She doesn't need you. She's a strong, independent woman. Ohio's konbanwa is evening. I tossed out, entering the kitchen. Heather was sitting at the table, and it seemed like she had been waiting there for some time. Nico, where have you been? I was so worried. And if a mere second ago I was actually glad of her presence, all my joy simply evaporated. Another interrogation, huh? Damn it, woman! I need my own space. Oh, what happened to you? Noticing my black eye, she jumped up from a chair. Nothing much. Ran into some robbers, made short work of them, but one of them got in my eye. Stop saying foolish things. They're not foolish. Want to see the police record? She pouted and calmed down, realizing that I'm probably fine. I asked Kyosuke, and he said you skipped the last few classes. Yeah, I did. So what? I snarled. Nothing, I just so much has happened that I was worried that you were cheating on me. Why would you worry about me? Do you think I'm going to drown myself? No, okay, I was a little bit worried about that, but nothing important happened. I was about to add at least to you, but stopped myself the last second. Ultimately, Heather didn't do anything wrong. Meanwhile, she was looking at me expectantly. I should say something. Should I tell her that I was with Catherine? It isn't a secret or anything, right? We didn't do anything objectable, but for some reason it seemed to me that Heather shouldn't know about this. Oh, fudge me in my fudge hole. Yeah. Damn it. Can I go back? Really, right now I was feeling embarrassed. I replied immediately. Fine, I think, although you know her, and you drag every word out of her sometimes. Smiled. Eat your dinner. It's already cold. You cheating bastard! I was actually hungry as hell. Damn it. Shut up, Ellipses. No, Ellipses, truth is the best policy. Shut up, Ellipses. Fine, I should have lied, Ellipses. Are you happy? We ate dinner in silence, without talking, without TV, and without even looking at each other. It seemed to me like the air in the kitchen was virtually humming with tension. It was one thing for me to stay silent, but why was Heather quiet as well? Simply because I told her about Catherine? I didn't want to make excuses, but in all these years she'd known me, Heather had been plenty of the times she was trying to achieve now. She knew I wasn't big on small talk. However, the silence was becoming unbearable. Now, how's school? It's fine. Just fine, that's all. Nothing happened to Sai-chan? No, why are you asking? I laid down the chopsticks aside and leaned back in my chair. Probably because you hadn't said anything during this whole dinner. I'm not silent. I mean, I don't mean to be. Became embarrassed. If it's about Catherine. No, of course it isn't. Then what is it? She was clearly gathering her courage. Conversation like this had always been difficult for her. Because I was worried. Did you even look at the clock? You could have at least called. Called where? Here. She replied in a flattering voice. How was I supposed to know you being here? I don't think we were living together already. Perhaps we should be, she muttered quietly. I pretended not to hear it. The conversation had clearly taken the wrong turn. All right. You know what? I'm very tired today. You head home. I'll wash the dishes myself. But I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Heather hung her head and stood up from the table. Konbanwa. We went to the... Is it konbanwa? It's Ohio, konnichiwa, and konbanwa. Yeah, konbanwa is afternoon. Right? Or not afternoon, evening. Konnichiwa is afternoon, noonish. Yeah. Right now, I absolutely need some time alone. Get the lotion. It was like I caught between two fires. Or even 3 or 4. Literally, a ring of fire was slowly but surely closing in on me. and I heard Johnny Cash in the background. Do 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 do. And how was I acting? Sluggishly, indifferent, like a decrepit old man who had long since stopped caring about his own life. On the one hand, there was Catherine, who I simply couldn't stop thinking about. On the other, there was Heather, who clearly wasn't happy with Catherine's return. And then there was the note, the new acquaintances, my non-existent plans for the future, and the future itself, shrouded in a thick haze of uncertainty. I stretched out as the bugs got louder, bed, and remembered Ellie. Even if the situation in the closet seemed to be ripe straight out of some shitty manga, hey! It had been a pleasant one. So, not so much a shitty manga, but more of a hentai. What if Ellie can help with my note situation somehow? She seems to have connections. Excuse me. Come what may. How about a threesome? Perhaps things would resolve themselves. Always the best solution to hope for, right? Just do nothing and hope things work out in the end. Thinking these thoughts, I fell asleep. Ellipses looked at me. The ringing of the telephone woke me up. What was it this time? Why is this light always on? With difficulty, I reached the phone. Mushy mush. My voice sounded terribly sleepy. Nikobla, you are in great danger. You need to be exceedingly careful. A voice said in Russian, Zvatka. I still half asleep and thus couldn't really understand what was going on. What? Who's this? I repeat, be extremely careful. Pay special attention to what you are doing, who you talk to, and what about. Again, the WV is all I can do for Russian. As if there was a piece of cloth pressed against the receiver. Who is this? What do you want? Was it you that left my note? You have been warned. Beeping. Now I was really scared. Should I call the popo? And what should I say? A regular school kid of no interest to anyone, a note, and a telephone call. It sounds a lot like a hoax. However, the first thing I did was to lock the doors and disconnect the phone. Why? The door should already be locked. You leave your doors unlocked? That's weird. It could be a joke or a hoax, but wouldn't even think about something like this. Michael, who wouldn't do it, Kyosuke, especially as Michael was only introduced yesterday, Kyosuke wouldn't even think about it. And why did it all start just as Catherine returned to Japan? Even if she wasn't the one who wrote the note. I pulled the blanket over my head. Sleep refused to arrive, but my fear eventually subsided a bit. Night brings counsel. I would try to sort all this out mañana. Ellipses laughed at the fact that I actually had to pause to remember how to say tomorrow in Spanish.